Let's dive into the best new fragrances for men in 2024. These are definitely compliment pullers. All right, settle down there, Lois, you perfume-hoarding maniac. This ain't one of your fancy department store sprees. This is fragrance for the fellas. That's right, fellas. Your boy Peter is here, fresh out of the shower. Well, mostly. To break down the hottest new colognes of 2024. We're talking scents so good, they'll make your significant other forget about that time you accidentally bought a participation trophy for Meg. So, grab a beer, light a cigar, and let's dive in. First up, we got the Valentino Uomo, born in Roma, green, Stravaganza. This fragrance is a fresh and woody take on the Valentino Uomo line. Most reviewers appreciate its versatility and its ability to be worn for both day and night. Now, that's a mouthful, longer than Brian's vocabulary after a night at the dog track. But hey, this cologne packs a punch, just like Lois's famous meatballs. We're talking a fresh, woody scent that'll make you feel like you just crushed a morning espresso and strolled through a sun-dappled Italian garden. Imagine this, Calabrian bergamot. That's like the ultimate Italian citrus, like sunshine bottled up in a fancy bottle. Not a beer bottle this time. It's zingy, wakes you up faster than Stewie with a slingshot, and gets you ready to seize the day. Now, we got some coffee in there, too. Not your burnt pot of Folgers, mind you, but a rich, smooth espresso that says, hey, I'm a sophisticated dude who can handle a strong brew. And finally, Vetiver, that earthy, masculine bass note that grounds the whole thing. It's like the anchor of a ship, keeping you from floating away on a cloud of citrus and caffeine. So, the green Stravaganza is for the go-getter, the guy who starts his day with a bang and keeps the energy going all afternoon, even if that afternoon involves watching cartoons with Meg. Don't tell Lois I said that. Now, buckle up, fellas, because we're about to get a little mysterious with the Narciso Rodriguez Vetiver Musc. Now, Narciso Rodriguez, that's the guy who dresses all the fancy Hollywood folks, right? So, you know this cologne is gonna make you feel like a red carpet hunk, even if the only red carpet you're walking on is the one leading to the fridge for another beer. Vetiver, that earthy bad boy, is back again, but this time, it's sharing the spotlight with musk. Now, musk, that's a scent that can be a little, well, let's just say it can turn heads. Think of it like Lois in a tight red dress at the clam chowder competition. Everyone's gonna notice. But in the Narciso Rodriguez, it's balanced out with some cypress, which is like a walk through a Mediterranean forest after a summer rain. Refreshing, mysterious, makes you smell like you could solve a crime with Sherlock Holmes and then charm the witness with your good looks. Don't tell Quagmire I said that. Things get even more interesting with cardamom and nutmeg. These are spices, people, the kind you find in Lois's pumpkin pie. They add a touch of warmth, like a comforting hug from your grandma after a rough day at the office. Unless your grandma is Stewie, then maybe skip the hug. And hey, who knows? Maybe a whiff of nutmeg will remind that special someone of grandma's delicious pie and make them extra sweet on you. So the Narciso Rodriguez Vetiver Musc is for the intriguing dude who wants to leave a lasting impression. It's the cologne of a man who's mysterious, sexy, and a little bit like a walking spice rack, but in a good way. Time to switch gears, fellas, because next up, we got the Hermès H24 Herbes Vives. Now Hermès, that's a fancy brand, the kind that makes Lois faint with dollar signs in her eyes. But hey, this cologne ain't just for snobs. It's a breath of fresh air, like sticking your head out the window on a crisp spring morning. First things first, there's a whole lot of herbal notes going on here. Think rosemary, basil, the kind of stuff you grow in your backyard, if you're fancy enough to have a backyard, that is. It's invigorating, like a splash of cold water on your face after a night of too much Pawtucket Patriot Ale. But wait, there's more. Nestled amongst those herbs is a juicy pear. Now, I know what you're thinking, a fruit in a cologne sounds weird, right? But trust me, it works. It adds a touch of sweetness, like a surprise candy bar you find in your kid's Halloween loot bag. It's unexpected, but darn tootin' delicious. And then there's Fiscool. Now that's a fancy scientific term for a molecule that makes you feel cool and refreshed. It's like having your own personal air conditioner following you around all day. Perfect for those hot summer days when Brian decides to shed like a furry tumbleweed. Don't tell Lois I said that. So, the Hermès H24 Herbes Vives is for the active dude who wants to smell fresh and invigorated all day long. It's the cologne of a man who can tackle anything, from mowing the lawn, if you even have one, to chasing Stewie around the house with a fly swatter, because let's face it, that little gremlin deserves it. Last but not least, we got the Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Paradis Garden. Now, Jean-Paul Gaultier, that's the designer who brought us those cone bras.
What?
So, you know this cologne is going to be a little bit out there. But hey, who says smelling good can't be fun? First up, there's a whole lot of green notes going on. We're talking freshly cut grass, leaves after a summer rain, the kind of stuff that makes you feel like you're frolicking through a tropical paradise, even if your paradise is just your backyard after Lois mows the lawn. Bless her heart. Then there's some watery notes mixed in there. Think ocean breeze, a refreshing dip in the pool after a long day at the clam factory. Hey, some folks gotta make a living. It's clean, aquatic, makes you smell like you just emerged from the fountain of youth. Although knowing Stewie, he'd probably rig it to shoot pudding instead. Now, things get interesting in the middle notes. We got coconut, that sweet tropical vibe that'll make you feel like you're sipping a pina colada on a beach somewhere. Even if you're really just sitting on the couch watching reruns of Family Guy, no judgment here. And then there's fig, a little bit unexpected, but trust me, it works. It adds a touch of sophistication, like you can appreciate a fine wine and still enjoy a good cartoon, because let's face it, Family Guy is practically highbrow compared to some of the stuff Meg watches. Finally, we got some sandalwood and tonka bean at the base. These guys are like the anchors of the whole fragrance, keeping it from getting too sweet or too aquatic. It's warm, masculine, makes you smell like you could build a sandcastle on the beach and then charm the lifeguard with your wit. Although knowing Lois, she'd probably have something to say about that. So, the Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Paradis Garden is for the playful dude who wants to smell like a fun vacation in a bottle. It's the cologne of a man who's a little bit unexpected, a little bit sophisticated, and a whole lot of fun. All right, folks, that's it for our fragrance extravaganza. I hope you enjoyed this little sniffathon and got some ideas for your next cologne purchase. Remember, fragrance is all about personal preference, so don't be afraid to experiment and find a scent that makes you feel like the best version of yourself. And hey, while you're at it, why not subscribe to my channel for more awesome content? So hit that subscribe button and let's keep the fun times rolling. Until next time, stay fresh.